Bryce,
Yes, sir.
guess who the hottest team is in the NBA right now?
Memphis Grizzlies.
The Memphis fucking Grizzlies are the hottest team in the NBA with their franchise star Ja Morant being out for the last 3 weeks with a knee sprain. I looked at this. I actually watched a couple of their games against the Heat, and without Ja, and I'm like, wow. I mean, they killed us. And I saw so much ball movement, so much passion, dead eye shooting. I believe in their first, they went on like a 5 or 6 game winning streak before they dropped one. In 4 of those 5 games, they led the entire way. So they went like in a 4 game stretch and was never behind. it's,
Right.
this, it's crazy. So to me, it puts up a red flag. This is no hate towards Ja, no disrespect towards Ja, but it just puts up a red flag to say, are you as impactful to your team winning as you think you are when you're a young talent, when your team goes on a tear without you and have beaten good teams on the street? Because the last 10 games, they've been 9-1. What are your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies?
Um, Makes me just like, we've seen things like this before, like specifically, when Kyrie was in Boston and, they got better once they got rid of Kyrie, and you kind of question as to why or whatever, a point guard running the offense, has the ball in his hands the whole time, gets a few assists or 5 or 6 assists, and you think he's pretty much doing what he needs to be doing. And I know some of these guys that are also the point guard and like the primary scorer, on top of being a younger guy, you probably feel like you have to take on more of that responsibility, or at least some of these guys, they probably want to take on that responsibility. But at the end of the day, when you have these situations and the team is still thriving on the offensive end, everybody's making their shots. That's another thing too. Teams can get hot and cold, and that can be affected by who is running the offense anyways and how that offense is flowing. So it's like, yeah, the team's making their shots, but that could be because everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it should be humbling to these guards to know, like, look, you can pass to your teammate. You might be the flashy all star, and you might be the one who had to do some things early on, and be the face of the franchise, and this or that. But you have a guy next to you who's paid millions of dollars to shoot the ball as well, and you should have faith in your team. And I think these situations are glaring, and it should be humbling to these players to know that, hey, the rest of your team can not only play without you but thrive without you.
Hmm.
So even though you're super talented and athletic and you're a future all star and all these things, if you ultimately want to thrive and win in this league, then you have to trust your team and the way your team buys into playing by what your coach is saying you need to do. If everybody's on the same page, it's like, hey, this is what we can do. You should fit into that. You shouldn't be a problem. You shouldn't be a ball stopper all the time, especially if you're the point guard. So it's like you need to know when to turn on when you're the only option. Like you should never really think like that.
Right.
But if you have to go get a bucket when your team calls on you to go get that bucket, then use that talent. But go out there and just play in the game and play the way your team is comfortable and has planned to play, and you know thrive that way first, because you can't deny the success they're having, and there's only one difference. So it
Right.
should be, like I said, humbling to these guards and these kids who are kind of feeling like they're doing everything. Trust your teammates.
In this stretch, they got wins over Dallas, Miami, the Lakers, the Sixers, and the Blazers. Those are all playoff teams. So half of
Some
their
very good teams in there.
half of I mean they got some stinkers, like Houston and Sacramento, but half of the teams they've beaten in this 9-1 streak have been playoff teams. Dude, it's hella impressive.
Hmm.
It's extremely impressive what they've done. So I tweeted the schedule out earlier today, but I don't remember if they're on it. I'm going to try to catch some more of their games until he comes back. But like you said, it is humbling. Are they going to trade the kid? No. But it does make the franchise think, okay, we've done well building a pretty solid core. You know, maybe could we cut costs, trade them, bring a couple of vets in who can make big time shots? It does make you think that. So but we wish the best for Ja, and we hope he comes back healthy. And when he comes back, we hope they can continue to win and not do what Boston did. Remember when Kyrie came back to Boston, it was just a disaster at that point going forward
Yeah.
because he destroyed all the continuity that they had built, and then the next year he was gone. So we don't want that to happen in Memphis because we want Ja to do quite well because we like Ja.
Yes.